Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Box, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to do my trophy stitch. I've made a big blanket with it. This is an Aran weight yarn, and I just used lots and lots of different scrap balls of Aran that I had left, but you can obviously make it out of any colour scheme or all one colour. I'm going to get that out of the way because it's so big you can't really see it too well. But here we go. This is the actual stitch, and I've called it the trophy stitch. One of my subscribers said it reminded her of a sippy cup, so you could call it the sippy cup stitch if you wanted to. Now I like it for making a blanket or anything really, but you could also just use one row as a border around another blanket, especially if it was for a baby. That would look kind of cute. But I've made it in this 4-way Aran. That's how it works up with Aran, and this is how it works up with a DK weight. Now this is obviously using a variegated yarn. I love everything I make with this yarn. It always looks good no matter what I make with it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. For the blanket I did a total of 95. I'm looking for another little swatch. I did a pink one. I seem to have lost it. I must have knocked it off the table. Never mind. A total of 95 chain for the blanket. That was the size of a crib, of a cot, a baby's cot. If you wanted to make one for a pram or stroller or a car seat, obviously just use less chain, and I'll get to the multiples in a second. But remember that 95 was using a 4-way Aran yarn. For the purposes of this tutorial I'm going to use a DK weight. Now this is a nice one. This one came from Hobbycraft, and it is a good size thickness DK. So I'm going to use a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook as well. Now this one is a Tulip Soft Grip Red, and I'm trying those out. I've only just got them. I like them so far. Okay, so for this stitch you'll need a multiple of 4 plus 3, but your foundation chain must be, let me just go down a little bit, there we go, must be very loose. So if you're the sort of person who has good tight tension, then you'll need to maybe use a couple of sizes bigger hook to make your foundation chain, because you really do want generous size stitches. So I'm going to just do a swatch for this tutorial. For the blanket border I just went round the whole blanket with half trebles, which are half double crochets in the US. So nothing frilly or fancy. In the corner just doing 3 stitches to go around the corner. So that was very easy, just going round and round. I didn't put a fancy border on because it's quite a lacy stitch if you like. So I'm going to do a quick swatch in multiples of 4 plus 3, and I'm going to try and make my chains nice and loose. So I won't talk while I do that. Okay, so those are my multiples of 4. So I'm going to do 3 extra, and in the 3rd chain I'm going to make 4 UK trebles or US double crochets, double crochets. So that's with the 3 loops, pull through 2 and pull through 2. So this is just assuming that you know how to do these stitches already. You're not going through each stitch. So each end will have a total of 5 stitches, and that's because the 2 chain, remember we went into the 3rd, counts as our end. So this is why you needed a nice loose chain, because that does bunch up quite a bit there. Okay, so now we're going to skip 3 chain, and in the 4th one we're going to do 4 UK trebles or US double crochets. all in the same chain space. If I go ahead of you, then by all means just pause it and catch up to me. So again, we're going to skip 3, and in the 4th do our 4. Okay, and we're going to skip 3 in the 4th, another cluster of 4. For my pink swatch that I wanted to show you, I did a chain in between these because you're going to go into that space, but you don't need to. But I did it just to see what it would look like. So it's a shame I can't find it. I'm just going to pull out some yarn. Okay, so carrying on to the end, skip 3. Did I skip 3? 1, 2, 3 into the 4th with our 4 stitches. Which should leave our last stitches, and we're going to do 5 in this end one because it's the opposite end, and we need 5 because we need kind of a post at the end. It will look like it pleats right out, but don't worry about that. So there's my 4 and my extra one. Okay, so now we're going to turn our work, and it does kind of work out, and we're going to chain 2, not tightly. Okay, so now we're going to, this one doesn't count. Here's our 4. We're going to do a front post around this one here, this first stitch. So we're going to go around the back, bring our hook through, yarn over and pull it through, and then we're going to complete our UK treble, US double. Okay, so now we're going to chain 1. Okay, so there's our first one, our second one, third and fourth. So between, we've got 2 this side and 2 this side. So between our next 2, we're going to make a 4, crochet 4 together. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to go into that space, the whole space between, and pull up the loop, yarn over and pull through, but that's where we're going to stop. We're going to yarn over, go back in, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. So that's our second. Do that again, yarn over, back in, yarn over, pull up the loop, yarn over and pull through 2. That's 3. Yarn over, back in, yarn over and pull up the loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 4. So we've started 4 treble crochets, but we haven't finished any of them. So now we've got 5 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull it through all 5, and then do a nice generous chain. Okay, if that's confusing, then you can watch it again, but I will do it slowly until the end of the row. So now we've got the 2 stitches after this kind of bobble, if you like, and we're going to do a front post around this one here, but it's going to be different this time. So we're going to go round, pull up our loop, and we're going to go through 2 and stop. And we're going to look at our next cluster. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to do the front post around this one, yarn over and pull it through, yarn over and pull through 2, and then we've got, I know it does look like it bunches, but it does sort itself out. So now we've got 3 on the hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 and do a chain. And this is how we make our trophy looking stitch. So here we are. We're going to go in the center of our cluster in here. We're going to do 4, so crochet together 4. So that's yarn over, pull through 2, back in, pull up through 2, back in, pull through 2, back in, pull through 2. Now if you get confused as to how many you've done, as long as you've got 5 on your hook, you've done 4. Okay, so pull through all of those, nice generous chain. And now we're going to do our front post around these 2 stitches again. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to go round that one, pull up our loop, pull through 2 and leave it to the next one. Exactly the same, pull through 2, and now we have 3 on our hook, pull through all 3 and do a chain. See how it's working out. And now in between, it doesn't like pucker a little bit, but don't worry, as you go further on away from this foundation row, then that will stop. So there's our 4. We're going in the center, that space, and we're going to do our 4 together. We're going to pull through 2, go back in, through 2, back in, through 2, back in, 5 on the hook, through all of them and do our chain. And now we're going to link these 2 with our front post again. Time to pull out more yarn. It does use quite a bit of yarn. It's quite a fiddly, isn't it, this stitch? So we're going to go round the back of that one, pull up our loop and go through 2. And then we're going to go around the back of the next one, pull up our loop, go through 2. Now we're joining them together by going through all 3, 1 chain, and we're into the center of our cluster again with our crochet 4 together. Pull through all of them, 1 chain, and then we're going to join these 2 together. Once you start doing it, it gets easier. It becomes, at first it's a lot to remember, but as you do it more and more, it gets easier. And the good thing is, this is just a 2-row repeat. So once you've got them, you've got them. Unless, like me, you don't write it down and you forget how to do it. I'll just have to stop doing that. Okay, so these 2 we join together. More yarn already. Hang on a moment. It'd be easier if it was a ball. Just roll. So I've got my 3. I'm going to pull through all 3. I'm going to do a chain. Now this last one is a little awkward to see because it is on this last chain, so it's got 5 kind of angry stitches, if you like. So we're going to go in the center of our 4 and do our 4 together. And then we're going to do our chain. And now we've got 2, so we're going to go around. So we've got our last 2, and then we've got this 1 on the end. Now this 2 here are part of our cluster, so the last one we are going to do the front post, but we're not going to join it to anything, so we're going to finish that stitch, and then next to it here is our post, and we're going to do our last one in there. It does look a little bunched up and tight, but it will, there you go, eventually once you go in you'll see that it will pull out. So now we're going to turn our work. Okay, and we're going to chain 2. Now this is a nice easy row. When you're looking at this, this is our crochet 4 together, and this, there are 2 stitches, so if you look, one of them is a bigger one than the other. This is our stitch that holds the whole of the 4 together, and this is the chain. You can look at it that way. You see this one's sort of bigger because it's the chain. And we're just going to do 4 UK trebles or US double crochets in that stitch. If it's easier for you to remember, do 2, 1 chain and 2, and you will see more easily your space. But if you're quite happy going into that stitch there, if it's fine for you, then by all means just carry on. So we're going to go skip everything, go over to the next one, which is this one here. You can see there's your kind of bobble, if you like, and you're going to this one here, and we're going to do 4. Nice easy row. We're doing our 4 or our 2, 1 chain and 2. We're just going to repeat that all the way to the end. We're going to go into the next one, which is here. Can't get in it. Nope, didn't go in properly. Whoops, sorry. Knocking the camera. Tell I haven't done a tutorial for a while, can't you? Out of practice. So that's all we're doing, all the way to the end. No chains between. It helps pull it together. That's it. Almost there. Just got another couple to do. So if you make that chain after your crochet 4 together nice and generous, it's much easier to find when you're doing this. Okay, I'm getting a little bit too close, I think. For some reason, I've lost the ability to zoom. So I try and get as close as I can. And then I just hit it with my crochet hook. And this is my last one. So after this one, we're going to find that stitch at the end. And we're going to go into that one. So here it is. I'm just going to go into that top stitch there, top chain stitch, and do a UK treble or US single. So now it's working out, you can see. Turn our work, and we're going to complete our second top of our trophy or sippy cup. Pulled out some yarn. Now this is an easier one to show you on because the foundation row is always more tricky. We're going to do 2 chain, and then around this first one, there's nothing to attach it to anyway. We're just going to do a front post stitch and 1 chain. So there's always a chain after and a chain before it. So there's our cluster of 4. This is being our first. We're going to go into that center and we're going to do our crochet 4 together. So we're going to pull up our loop, go through 2, yarn over, back in, pull up our loop, go through 2, and again, and again. Got 5 on our hook, pull through all 5, a nice generous chain, and then we're going to join these 2 together with our front post stitch. So we're going to go around that one, pull it up, through 2, yarn over again, round this one, pull it up and go through 2, 3 on our hook, go through 3, 1 chain, and then into the center of our cluster of 4 again. So once you get into this, it's a very easy stitch because it's a repetition that makes it easy. And I found this very good stitch, very easy to sit and watch TV and do this. Wasn't an awful lot of times when I had to take my eye off what I was doing. And chain, there we go. Go all the way to the end. I've got plenty of yarn. It's good. Do another one in here. All through 5, 1 chain, and now we're going to join these 2 together. This part of it, I think, is probably the hardest bit, but once you've got this done, it's quite simple. There you are. So I'm going to pause it. I'm going to go all the way to the end, and I'll catch up with you when I get to the right up the end. Okay, so I've gone all the way along. I'm on my last one. So remember, when you get to the last one, we're just going to do a full front post stitch, and then next to it, you'll see the next stitch we go in to make our last sort of post, and that's it. So basically it is just a 2-row repeat, and it makes this kind of trophy looking stitch. I kind of like it. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget, it's multiples of 4 plus 3, and your foundation chain row must be nice and loose, especially for this first part here, because it really does kind of pull, because you're putting 5 stitches into it in a way. So thank you for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll be informed when new videos pop up. Okay, bye for now.